In the fabled land of Northern California, nestled in the Valley of Sacramento, two friends begin a journey to enlighten the world about their experience living life as a Xennial. But what is a Xennial, you may ask? If you wish to know, then follow them on their adventures.
Welcome to the Xennial Chronicles. This is James.
This is Mike.
Yeah, it's a little slow on the uptake there, sir. I guess it's because I'm not sitting right across you being like, what the fuck, man? So you take a little bit of a pause.
It's a phone delay, bro.
It's all right, though.
It's a phone delay,
man. There's a delay?
There is a delay. James, you sound you sound like you're halfway stuck in the Matrix on my end.
Really?
Yeah.
You're getting some Matrixy sound.
Yep.
Is that good or bad? Are we going to keep that?
Oh, we're going to have to. That's the quality of signal, my friend.
All right. That's all fine.
We're making do, my friend. We're making do today.
I make do all the time. In the morning when I first get up, and then usually around a little bit before lunchtime.
Oh, okay.
And then what?
Oh, it's nice to know you're regular, sir.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. I kind of live my life around when I got to go take a poo. Well, it's kind of a historical thing.
You know, these this being the first of possibly multiple, most likely multiple remote sessions is
yes,
going off with a bang.
Hey, that's how it's supposed to go, right? But anyway, now, don't you remember the conversation I had about if I ever won the lottery and I wanted to build the big mansion thingy, big house thingy?
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted my own toilet with my name inscribed in it, and like maybe even a thumbprint scanner or something.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't hooked up to Wi-Fi and like the government can get my thumbprint, even though they have it, but still, whatever. But yeah, my own toilet that literally nobody else can ever sit on. Because I want it to be available for me whenever I want to use it. It's just one of my weird quirky things, I guess.
No, that makes sense. Makes sense.
I have many. But anyway, yes, this is finally, hopefully, our first broadcast from doing it at remote location. I'm sitting in my bedroom. You're sitting. I don't know where you're sitting. Where are you sitting, sir?
I'm actually in the regular studio right now. I've got the microphone set up at the desk so I can watch levels and do my thing.
Oh, so you get to be in the studio.
I do. Yeah. Hey, man, it's the main control room. I did a little bit of a renovation in here, moving some stuff around, making sure that we're decent and okay in here. We tried to do this last week, and we had some serious technical problems. I don't know what happened or why things freaked out, and hopefully they are not freaking out now.
It's your fault. You messed it up.
Yep. Yeah, it's my fault. Blame the technical guy.
All I did was plug in the microphone. Yeah.
Yeah, just like the same shit I catch doing live sound. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the band is great. Oh, this band is fantastic. The band sucks. What the hell is the sound guy doing? That's what happens to me.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
So wait, are you saying that I was sucky? Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all.
Because you are not paying me enough to do that.
I'm supposed to pay you?
If you want sucky.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
I'm just saying. I have standards and I have a price sheet. But anyway.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, go ahead and email me that price sheet and we'll talk, okay?
Okay. Will do. You can't afford me. Anyway, trust me, dude. There's only a handful of people that could afford me right now. Those people being the ones whose wealth has increased over the last 4 to 6 weeks, where everybody else's has tanked. Those people could afford my prices. They're the only ones. But anyway, don't come cheap. Literally. But anyway, actually, what was fun was doing the work last week, trying to set this up for us to be able to do the session last week that didn't work out.
Yeah.
It actually was very helpful for me personally.
Really?
Because we've all had this weird transition, obviously, over the last 6 weeks, where people are working from home, people are having to take care of their kids in ways that they never had to before. They totally understand now why the teachers are complaining about their kids being rotten little bastards, because guess what? They are most of the time. Parents just didn't realize it because they shipped them off to the school. Luckily, I will say this after just saying that, I will say this. I have awesome kids who are really, really good at home, and I already know what issues they have at school, and I've already worked with the teachers on the issues to make the issues better. So I've had a really good time with the kids being home, other than the fact that I can't I can't go anywhere and do anything when the kids are home, but I can't go anywhere and do anything right now anyway. So it all kind of works out.
Okay, you know what,
in that setting.
So basically, what it is, what you're saying is, it's pretty much life as usual for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part for me. But
okay.
the fun thing has been, of course, the schools are trying to make sure that the kids continue to get their education, which I am fully behind. And
cool.
100% good with. Now, there have been some of the people that we've worked with the kids that some of the teachers that are wanting to be actually interactive with the kids and wanting to do Zoom sessions and, computer work and this and that. There have been a few teachers that have been like, we'll tell you how to do these things and then you do them for the kids. And I'm like, nope.
Nope. Whoa. Oh, really?
That's not going to happen because that's not going to happen until you put me on the payroll for the school district. Because if you want me to do
that's true. The teacher's getting paid for the curriculum, right?
Yeah. If you want me to do all the work, then I want to be on the payroll. But if you're wanting me to help support the work you're wanting to do on the computers with the kids, I'll help support. I'll make sure that they're there for their appointed times, and that the assignments beyond what you're working with them on the computer, I will help make sure they get those done at the right times. Those kind of things, But I still want you, as the paid professional who went to school and got degrees to do this work, I want you to be the one involved with the kid teaching them, because that's your job. You're still there. It's being offered for that to happen from the school district. So I want you to be doing that work. Well, which luckily the majority of my kids' teachers have been really good about wanting to do. I've had a few that were a little slow on the uptake with it, but it's working good now.
So wait a minute. So hold on. So this isn't like just to let people know, because I'm slightly confused about this portion of the school system.
Okay, I will.
This is not kids en masse, right? This is not like a class full of 30 kids, or depending on how many more.
Well, okay,
there are with that kind of budgetary restriction that has happened in certain recent years. So I'm somewhat privy to the fact that there is obviously a lot of stresses. I have relatives that are involved in the standard public school system. That are definitely dealing with some stuff right now. There's
a lot of difficulties going on with the different attempts to roll out online education.
Right.
And for some students, all that's really needed is a portal that they can get into from their home computer.
Right.
Usually a part of the school's network, where they can have assignments that they're given. Depending on what grade level the child is in, they can either watch lectures or watch video lectures that are recommended by the teachers, do assignments, submit the assignments. With my specific kids go to schools that are smaller class sizes, more individualized educational purposes.
Right.
And so the teachers in my kids' schools have more of a capability of doing more one-on-one work with them. They also have a few specialists that work on specific things that they need to work on. I will say one of my kids has a speech therapist that helps them with their speech issues.
Okay.
And so that specific professional has 2 regular appointments a week with my son to do speech therapy with him.
Okay, so we're talking about
it's a Zoom session. So in my specific case, I have a slightly different educational setup than what most traditional education is going to have for my kids.
Okay, so I can understand where you're coming from, because that makes a lot more sense, being that you need teachers that are, this is one-on-one session here. This is not like a mass teacher session where one teacher can't log into a single Zoom session and teach 20 kids at the same time.
No,
right.
and that would be beyond difficult to do. But again, in those specific instances, the schools are trying to roll out ways that, again, the kids can watch lectures,
right,
and get the lecture information, have the ability to get feedback from teachers, and it really depends on the specific level. But the teachers are still in most cases, doing whatever they can to be as involved as possible
right.
with working with the kids, and not necessarily laying everything on, here's a packet of stuff, you deal with teaching the kid. They're giving the kids resources to be able to work with. And that's the thing is we had a few people at first that were just like, well, we're not sure what resources we're going to offer. We're just going to give you some paperwork and some stuff and some this. And I was like, no, we need more. We need more resources. We need more engagement. We need you guys to, come up with something. If it takes a little bit of time, fine. Tell me we're coming up with something. We're figuring it out. We're going to try some things. That's great because I understand this is a whole change for all of us. And
for sure.
I get that. But at the same time, give me something that shows that you're working towards making things more connected, more involvement from you, and not just, well, they're your problem now, not ours anymore. And again, my kids at school, my kids' teachers have been doing a great job of starting to implement it. It was a little rocky at first, but they've been implementing it and bringing it forward. But that comes to the point of, again, why us trying to figure out how to do this recording last week was really interesting for me and very helpful for me, because I was having to figure out, me being the totally techno-adverse person that I am, I've had to figure out how to do my schooling online, which I caught onto that pretty quick. I figured out those pieces pretty quick.
Well, that's good.
But then I had to start doing all of these Zoom sessions for my kids.
Right.
And we were using a Chromebook that one of the schools had supplied to one of my kids to be able to access their stuff.
Oh,
which,
that's
by
cool.
the way, by law, if you do not have internet access, or actual internet access, or a computer to access the internet with, if the school wants your child to continue education right now, they by law have to provide that.
Well, that makes sense. If they require your child to be online and you do not have internet access, so basically the state is providing your internet at that point in order to allow it to happen.
Yes.
Cool. I mean, that creates it. That turns into. I mean, we could get into that. If we want to go that way.
Field. It helps level the playing field, and it gives everybody the opportunity, the chance to actually do the learning. But anyway, we were using this Chromebook to try to do these Zoom sessions, and while it had a fairly decent webcam, actually had a pretty good webcam on it.
Nice.
The microphone situation was not very good, cutting in and out a lot, and it did not have very good Wi-Fi hookup in that it would lose connection often. A lot of freezing, a lot of loss of sound from on both sides of things. It was really not working very well.
That was actually the big problem that I was having last week, was the Wi-Fi issue. I've got a studio computer that's great. Just to kind of give it a breakdown of what I'm doing on my end right now, I'm actually using my phone to talk to you and then recording straight off the phone, because I had a huge technical problem. That was actually the big deal that was going on. The reason why we didn't have an episode last week is because I had hooked up my laptop to Wi-Fi, or not to Wi-Fi on that point. It was hardwired, but there was a technical sound interface issue that I had. However, beforehand, we tried to hook this up with my studio computer to Wi-Fi, and it was a disaster. It was a debacle. So now, funny enough, the phone that I have is actually more reliable with my wireless digital connection than my computer is, that's fine. The strength of my computer is to be a recording computer, so I'm kind of using best of both worlds here. However, please continue.
Well, we only have one laptop that works in the household other than that Chromebook. We bought it about a year ago, and the purpose was, there was a twofold purpose to buying this laptop. Putting iTunes on our iPods.
Yes,
because
beautiful.
We still have iPods. And that's what we put all our music on.
Didn't you talk about, you were talking about, what was it? Like, we were talking about the generational gap with that. We talked about that in another episode, right? Where basically the Gen Z or college kids looked at you and were just like, you have a freaking iPod? Why don't you just put it on your phone? Which I find hilarious.
I don't want to use up the battery on my phone. I want to make phone calls.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so we bought it to put music on both of our iPods, and then the other purpose was, my wife has a sewing machine that is advanced enough that you can plug in stuff to it, and
like USB devices.
Yeah, well, you can plug in a computer to it, and you can actually have it do embroidery where it's programmed into the computer, and the machine does it itself. So
that's dope.
It does
it's
require
like 3D
it does require
printing,
the
but
outside.
with sewing.
Well,
right?
it's like have you ever been to a one of those baseball cap shops where they embroider the back of the cap?
Yeah,
they can embroider like names on it. Like my black 49er hat that I wear, the all black one.
Yeah,
it's got my last name on the back of it.
Oh,
in black.
That's dope.
So you can't. Yeah, you can barely see it. You have to actually look at it. But I did it in black because the whole hat is black. There's no color on the hat, so why would I put color on it with the letters? But
that's nice.
It can do stuff like that, just basic single color embroidery, but it needs a computer program to tell the thing what to do.
Right.
There are more expensive sewing machines that have the computer kind of built into it, little computer that you can make it do stuff with. This one is not quite that expensive. It's a little bit below those, but it's still a very nice one. Still does all the normal sewing that it needs to do. In fact, it's got a bit of a workout recently, making masks and whatnot. But
awesome.
Yeah, you saw when I drove by and picked up the music equipment from you weeks and weeks ago. You saw the homemade masks that we had.
Yeah.
Me and my son. Anyway, this is the only that's what this computer was bought for. Occasionally printing things out if we needed to. Some basic stuff online. Because like if you're doing anything anymore, if you're doing an application of any kind, you have to do it online anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got it so that we could print things out if we needed to. That kind of basic kind of usage that you'd expect from a computer. Nothing too major, nothing too flashy, and it's got decent specs. It's got Windows 10 on it, so at least it's relatively modern in that. And it was just a fairly inexpensive refurbished laptop that did some basics.
Killer.
Well, of course, all I wanted it to do was those basics. So when I bought it, I didn't look into the idea of making sure it had a webcam because I didn't have a need for one, or making sure it had a microphone hookup because I didn't have a need for that. So it does not have a microphone in it. It does not have a plug-in for a microphone. It has one for headphones, but not for microphone.
Really? Okay, that's a surprise to me because most of your standard laptops that come out, they're like, I'm talking like the simple like $100, $150 laptops have a microphone and a webcam in them.
Nothing in this. So we were like, okay, we were using the Chromebook. Well, ordered a webcam. Of course, I was dumb. I ordered it off of eBay, which means it came from China, which means it took 4 weeks to get here. But and don't worry, I Lysoled it before I used it.
Well, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
No, I didn't. I'm not racist like that. But anyway, the picture that I hooked it up. The picture works, but of course, the microphone part doesn't work because it came with its part. It has a microphone built into it, but it doesn't work because I don't have a plug-in for a microphone.
Right.
So it's like, well, crap. So I had remembered I had set this microphone up for our meeting, and I'm like, well, it already has accepted this microphone. Let's set this up. And so I had a decent webcam, decent enough, and a microphone, and we were able to start conducting the Zoom meetings with this setup. And I was like, okay, this is good. No sound dropping out, nothing bad happening. This is great. I found out that Zoom, you can record the meetings, which is kind of neat.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a good thing to know.
I was thinking about trying to do that with Zoom this time. We're actually just using Facebook Messenger for it, but to tell everybody else. You obviously know, but I consider that I am not familiar enough with Zoom. And I want to make sure that I can actually independently record both of our voices. Like that's the real catch.
Yeah, which I understand that. Although I would tell you, check out Zoom because like you can do a full range of things with it, including being able to share stuff to show people, taking over the other person's, being able to take over the other person's computer and work on it. You can do all that kind of stuff. Because they've done some of that stuff with my kids, and that like they have them do interactive stuff, and then from our laptop we can move the cursor around and interact with the stuff.
Oh, sir, have I got some stuff to show you? Because I know that I have talked to you about one or two things, especially with being creative and learning how to work with music on your end.
Yeah.
I can blow your mind with some of the stuff that you have laying around that house.
I'm sure
that you like. I could. Oh man, dude, I could tell you what, man. This is some crazy stuff. This is some stuff that I've learned over the years just working with audio production. Please, you know what? I know I kind of almost know where this conversation may or may not go, because you told me about a little thing where you were using. You're using your good microphone right now, correct? Yeah. Please continue.
I'm using my good microphone, the microphone that I podcast with regularly, the one that's normally at your house. But when we did our big marathon 4 shows in a day, that day I brought this microphone home, knowing that this was going to be our likelihood of having to record this way, and I wanted to make sure I had the best microphone and the only microphone that I had to record on, or at least the only microphone I thought I had,
of course,
to record on.
Oh, really?
So yes, the only microphone I thought I had. So I had set this up, did some meetings with the kids at this, and I'm like, this is good, but at the same time, I have it on the telescoping arm so that it's I don't have the cool full stand like you do. So I have the telescoping arm attached to a TV tray.
I would much rather have a telescoping arm. This stand, I keep knocking into it, actually.
Well, the arm is great because it's attached to a TV tray, and the TV tray has the computer sitting on it. I'm like, okay, this works. This is good. Yeah. I can make this work. But I was a little worried, and the kids, of course, the microphone could be like a foot away, 2 feet away from the kids, and you could still pick them up perfectly for the meetings. I mean, I'm sitting close to it because you always tell me to, and you'll do what you need to with the voice. But sure. 2 feet away from the kids, and they were still being able to be heard. I could be heard because if I need to say anything, I can say anything out of frame, and I can still be heard. We're all good. But I was like, it's my good microphone. I spent a decent amount of money, not a lot of money, but a decent amount of money on it. I don't want my good microphone to get broken.
It feels different, right? It feels different for sure. I've dealt with that.
That would be the thing is for you to have set this stuff up and be like, all right, I'm ready, sir, and be like, yeah, about that. My good microphone is broke now. And so I was like, what kind of alternative do I have? And I was thinking of just buying a cheap microphone. I found cheap ones at you can order from Walmart, from Amazon, stuff that clipped onto shirts and stuff that sat by itself. I'm like, I can do something like that, whatever. And then a thought hit me. I'm like, I have another microphone that hooks up to stuff through USB. I don't know if it'll work. Let me go to the great sage of our time, the fount of wisdom.
Yes.
So I Googled it.
Yes.
And what I Googled was, does a Rock Band microphone work on a PC? Well, guess what, sir? A Rock Band microphone from the Rock Band games, a PS2 Rock Band microphone, by the way, so we have some clarity, which just has a USB hookup, is a Logitech microphone, which hooks up directly to a PC. Yeah, it's a Logitech. So it hooks up directly to a PC. No drivers are needed. No nothing is needed. Hooks up, works perfectly. This microphone, when I bought it, also came with a little tripod stand.
Uh-huh.
Well, guess what, sir? I had another microphone. I had another microphone clip, so I put the microphone clip onto the tripod stand, put the microphone in the tripod, wrapped some cord up so there wouldn't be cord all over the place, and I have a little tripod microphone that can sit right next to the computer on this little TV tray that I'm using.
Yeah.
Picks up the voice perfectly, and it's a microphone that literally, up until like 2 or 3 weeks ago when we had a drunk night of Rock Band, had been sitting in a drawer for like 7-8 years.
Oh my goodness.
The beauty of it is, right? Actually no, I took it out about a year ago when I was 2 years ago. Year ago? Whenever I was auditioning for that band I was auditioning for, I brought it out to practice some of the songs because some of the songs are on some of the Rock Band and SingStar games that I have. So I took it out to practice for that.
You were using it as that's great, man. You were using Rock Band as rehearsal. That's dope. There you go.
Hell yes. Hey, if you turn the volume of the singer down in it, not your volume, you turn the mic volume up and then the volume of the vocal track down.
Yeah.
You hear yourself mainly singing it.
Dude,
so
that's great.
It gave me, I mean, I had to figure out a way to get the practice in somehow or another.
There you go, man.
I have my moments of brilliance. They're very small moments, but I have them.
Dude, please keep going. Keep going.
Well, what's funny is part of the inspiration for this came as kind of, I don't know, an ending thing for my daughter when she does her schooling, an ending thing for each session to kind of just have fun. It's something that her and her teacher like to do. they'll pick a song to listen to on YouTube and just kind of rock out, dance the song, sing, whatever.
That's
and
adorable.
So for fun, I grabbed one of my SingStar. SingStar was another singing game from the PS2.
Uh-huh.
What was interesting about SingStar is it had two different colored microphones. A microphone that was black with blue banding on it, and then a microphone that was black with pink banding on it, if you remember correctly.
Yes.
You played the games many times.
Oh, yes.
And trust me, I'll get to that in a moment. So I was just
oh no,
just for fun, while my daughter was singing along and dancing with, you know, in our living room, and the teacher's dancing in whatever room she's in doing the class. I just handed her one of the microphones just to be able to like pretend to sing with it, and she had a blast with it. And that was part of what got the wheels turning. And today I can say successfully multiple Zoom meetings and Rock Band microphone used to perfect success. And
Dude.
Again, it's been years. It's been 8 to 10 years since those microphones were heavily used, and that was back in the days where this is back when Mike was still doing the bachelor living with his previous band to the current multiples that he's in right now. And we were me and my wife were hanging out there all the time, and we'd bring the PlayStation 2 and all these SingStar and Rock Band games, and be, you know, just having a party and going 7-8 hours into 3 a.m. singing all these songs and playing instruments on the Rock Band stuff. And you know, we had one of those nights about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. We had one of those, like, just a mini party here at home, and brought the Rock Band out, brought the SingStar out, had a little bit of fun with it. I realized that I'm really, really terrible with drums, like god-awful terrible. There was a point where I got halfway decent, but I'm god-awful terrible. But
it's okay, man. You just need time. You just need time.
It's just been a revelation of that I did have the product. So I was worried, like, great, am I have to figure out how to buy another computer or something so that we got one that works? No, I can just attach a bunch of things to the one that I have, and it works.
Yep.
And so that's kind of neat.
That's actually that's part. Okay, first off, I got two things to say. So the peripherals you were working with, the microphone, working like an audio device with your computer. Yeah. That doesn't just happen with the microphone. Just to let you know, your drum kit, your Rock Band drum kit you have, that I remember you guys bringing over back and forth all the time, that actually hooks up. And I have talked to you on more than one occasion about getting a recording device. I have talked to you about recording. I think, sir, for the sake of just being able to have a creative outlet and being able to work with a full just something where you have a creative outlet to work with. Your Rock Band drum kit, USBs to that same laptop, and you could actually use it with recording software and record yourself playing drums on a MIDI track and actually play with drum samples. That's about 75% of the way towards what I do here with all of my equipment. I will be real with you. You have so much capability with the material that you picked up just for your video games, man.
But by the way, do you know how many drum sets I have for Rock Band?
How many? 4. Dude, so you have like the real nice one, right? You have the kicking one. You got the kicking one for like the kick-ass, I don't know if you have an Xbox or if you have a PS2. There were a few of them. There was like the main Rock Band one, which was like just 4 pads, and then there was the one with like the cymbals and the toms and like all that stuff.
I don't have the one with the cymbals and stuff. I just have the basic 4 pads and the kick pedal.
You can do a lot with that.
But here's the thing. Well, and I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's a workaround to be able to hook up 2 of them. And you're just basically assigning whatever sound you want to each pad.
Technically, yes. You can do that.
So if I set it up in the right fashion, I could literally set it up where I could place the 2 sets in a way where one set represents certain symbols, and one set basically represents like the one set has hi-hat, tom-tom, floor tom. The other set has 4 different symbols that I want, and that means I have 2 kick pedals, so I can set up one kick pedal as either a hi-hat to do the hi-hat kick, and the other one to do the bass. And there you go. I can literally put together an entire electronic drum kit with what I have, which I know. I realize that, and I've thought about that. I've thought about being able to do it. I just don't know how to get that extra step. But again, that's why you're my friend.
Well, sir, I think in this time, absolutely, I think in this time outside of our podcasting endeavors, I definitely would be more than willing to help you get into that, because I tell you what, man, I have been extremely well driven, not just on the technical side of things, but just on the creative side of things, to be able to literally sit down somewhere and just go, just zone out on my ability to make something. I think it is, I don't know how to say this aside from, I think people would be overall a lot happier if they had this capability. Now, you don't necessarily have to. Now, everybody's got their thing. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to have music to do this. You can work with crafts, you can paint, you could do all of these things. But if you are going through life without some semblance of some kind of creative outlet where you feel that you have control of your environment in some way, shape, or form, no matter how deep you get into it, you don't have to be technically crazy savvy. You just have to have something that allows you to be happy in your own personal universe.
Something that somewhere you can find the love.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere you can find the love, the peace, the zen. Then,
exactly.
Dude, I will. It'll be shared personally between us, but I have some really good news to share with you. But anyway, but by my calculations, we're close to our break time, aren't we?
We are. We're getting real close, my man. We're about there. We're about there. I think it's time to take a short break.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, we will give you the thing that hopefully, if you saw my little video, some of the things that you're looking for. We'll talk about our Easter, because we had the discussion already, but we'll at least go back over some of our Easter stuff.
Yes.
I will reveal the story of why the porn episode came out on the 16th.
Really? Like full story. Reveal? Oh, man.
Well, as full a reveal as I can do with being appropriate. But there will be a reveal. Because it's something in many ways I am proud of. My wife will be angry, but I mean, I do care, but at the same time, she'll just kind of shake her head at me, and whatever. I haven't told this story to a bunch of people.
Is it at least worth forgiveness on her end?
She's forgiven me for telling the story before. Never told it in this large of a format before, but I mean, and yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I think so. The story will tell. But anyway, we'll take a break. We'll be back in a minute, and hopefully you're still listening.
Hey friends, this is Mike from the Xennial Chronicles reminding you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Xenchron, spelled Xenchron, to keep up to date on all things TXC. And please check out our official website, theXennialChronicles.com, or if that's too much to type, Xenchron.com. Thanks again for listening, and now, back to the show.
And we are back.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I was... Sorry, you guys didn't get to hear all the fun, interesting conversation that happened off the air, because it's personal stuff. But it's good personal stuff. We have fun stuff in our future. Yeah, you're not that special.
Yeah, not yet.
Although, for a fee, I'll send my price list, and you can find out how much it will cost for you to hear all this special stuff.
Nice.
Anyway, but since we can't tell you yet about the things that we discussed in the break that may have to do with our future, instead, we're going to do what we tried to do last week, which is to talk about what we have been doing since the last time we hung out together and recorded 4 podcasts in a single day. It's been a long time, and some of it I've forgotten at this point, but I know that Easter happened, right?
Yeah, it might have. Yeah, I think so. Happened sometime back.
My memories of Easter have already started to fade, because it was just kind of another day where my kids just got a bunch of candy.
I don't even know what day of the week it is right now, bro.
Tuesday?
Is it?
It's a Tuesday. Yeah, it's a Tuesday.
Oh, well, we're recording on Tuesday, right?
Well, we're recording on Tuesday. When people listen to this, it should be Thursday, unless somebody doesn't get off his ass and get everything edited properly. But that's not my business. That's yours. But anyway, No, I just the only memories at this point, and I was hoping I could recall more, but as I'm sitting here, I'm like, the kids got candy. My wife went shopping after Easter and got a bunch of extra candy. I remember. I actually remember something we talked about last time.
Oh, what was that?
When my wife went back and got the extra candy, she got a bunch of chocolate bunnies.
Oh,
including,
yes.
You remember this now.
I've got it. Yes.
Including the find of a white chocolate bunny that was a little bit weird. Because when you opened up and looked at this white chocolate bunny, especially at the back side of it, normally the white ones, they're either the white chocolate or they're like the cookies and cream, which I do love.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some cookies and cream.
Of course. Cookies and cream is fantastic.
This wasn't cookies and cream. It was rainbow-colored things inside the chocolate, embedded within the chocolate. Do you remember what it was?
Is that Fruit Loops?
It was Fruit Loops in the frickin' chocolate bunny.
Right. Dude.
And it literally tasted like solidified in a good way, not in a bad way. Because most times, if you think of solidified milk, it's kind of gross. Unless you like yogurt or cheese.
Fruit Loops and sour cream.
Sour cream just belongs to garbage. But anyway,
hey, I had sour cream along with my salsa today. It was on a burrito. It was a good burrito. You are traumatized with that explanation, sir.
I have personal issues with sour cream.
Oh man,
it's one of those things that it's one of the things that haunts me when I go to Mexican food places or even pseudo Mexican food places. Is there's two things that people love to put all over the Mexican food anymore: sour cream and guacamole. And I hate both of those things with a passion. I can't stand them being around. Like if you take sour cream,
you're like one of those dudes that's like all over Italian food, and just like Mexican food is just kind of eh.
No, I love Mexican food. If the Mexican food does not have sour cream or avocado in any way, shape, or form on the food, I'm totally down for it.
Okay, so question.
Totally down for it.
Question. So I have learned more recently that there are multiple types of there's multiple types of styles of Mexican food, and I really was trying to figure out a few of these things.
It's a regional thing.
It is a regional thing. You are absolutely correct. Jalisco Mexican is based on obviously the Jalisco region. Have you heard of Chihuahua Mexican before? Like Chihuahua Mexican food?
Where they make it out of the dogs?
No, they don't make it out of the dogs.
Oh, okay.
No.
Then no.
Okay.
My answer would be no.
Chances are...
Here's the thing. I probably have, and I'm probably very familiar with it.
Yes.
I just probably didn't know it had that label.
Right. Okay. So I only learned that this was the type of label. Oh man. All right. So I'm going back to those.
We had this discussion a long time ago.
Really? Did we have it on the podcast, or did we have it?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't care because we can talk about it now.
I was going to say, podcast's been around long enough. Chances are most people that heard it forgot that we talked about it then.
If they even listened.
Yeah. Okay, so
if we don't put porn in the title of it, people don't listen.
Dude, I think that the reason why that got so many plays on YouTube is because...
We'll talk about that in a minute. That in a minute.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Go on with your Chihuahua food. Speak of the Chihuahua food.
Chihuahua, okay. All right. I think Chihuahua Mexican is... Okay, so I
By the way, just clarify, Chihuahua is actually a fusion style of food that's Chihuahua Mexican and Hawaiian, just so we know.
Oh, God.
I just made that up right now. It's funny.
What would that be? Would that be like... is that like a wet Spam burrito? What is that?
I mean, I will find out for you. I will have a report back on.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so for the Chihuahua Mexican, what is Chihuahua Mexican? What are the defining characteristics of the food?
Okay. It tends to be when you go into a formal Mexican restaurant, okay, when you go to a Jalisco grill, a lot of the time, first off, it's a straight grill. It's flat iron grill, and they take all of the pictures of the food with it used to be Polaroids back in the day, but now it's with their cell phone. Those are those Mexican food places where you know it's good because they take pictures of the actual food and they put it on the wall. That is Jalisco that is Jalisco Mexican food. Chihuahua Mexican is the type of Mexican food most of the time they'll have like a bar or a cantina, or you walk in and it's formal dining where you walk in and you get seated and they have the fold out menu, and there's varying numbers of different types of food, but when you get the food, it is it's a formal plate. Like they have different types of plates where I tend to judge a Chihuahua Mexican food place by the quality of their chili relleno. If you're familiar, a chili relleno, right?
Oh yes, I actually remember a song about chili rellenos. You
have a song about chili rellenos? For those that
I don't. I was at a friend's house one day. It was around Christmas time.
Okay.
A mutual friend that we both kind of know. He's my friend, but you know him.
Okay.
He could be your taller older brother.
Oh yes,
because he is also cursed with the red hair and the no soul. We were at his house around Christmas time.
With this gentleman. Yes,
we were at his house around Christmas time.
He's a good man.
He is. He's one of my favorite people in existence. We were at his house around Christmas time, and he was in the kitchen cooking, and we walk into the kitchen, and he's just standing over the stove. Chili relleno, chili relleno. And that's all the song was, over and over again.
He sang it to La Cucaracha, huh? Okay.
Yes. It was, and he's sitting there making them in a pan on the stove, and offered to me. And at that time, I was far more picky in my eating, and I said no. I probably should have said yes, but I had my moments of numbness. Anyway.
Okay, so all right. Okay. So as far as chili rellenos go, for those that are not familiar, go get one. They're fantastic. They're a giant green chili that has been hollowed out, filled with cheese, batter dipped and deep fried, and then smothered in red sauce. Killer. Absolutely killer. One of my favorite meals, period. What?
I would eat that now. I just wouldn't have eaten it then.
Oh, right. I understand.
Because that was still in my infancy of food thought, and I still didn't realize that I actually like cheese. I just don't like fake cheese product.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. So you're okay. Now I understand your aversion to American cheese, because American cheese isn't real cheese. I know and understand that. I still have it. It's kind of like a childhood thing with me. However, I can understand people that do not dig on American cheese. It ain't real cheese. The shit's fake, man. I can completely come to terms with it. Especially when you have real cheese. Good real cheese, bro. Like, that's the way to go. But okay, so taking that back, dude, if it's a good chili relleno,
how do we get on the subject of Mexican food restaurants? I forget. Were we talking about Fruit Loops?
I think we were talking about Fruit Loops, sour cream, and then salsa, and then moved on to Mexican. Okay,
got it.
Oh my god, I love these conversations sometimes. So,
sidebar. I know some people, because your sour cream and your salsa is reminding me. Yes. I know some people that will take jarred salsa or even like fresh pico.
Yeah.
But specifically I like to do it with jarred salsa.
Uh-huh.
And mix it with cream cheese to make a dip.
Okay, so
that to me looks like basically it looks like vomit in a bowl to me, and in fact, whenever I see this made by these people,
it eventually becomes that. Yes,
I will look at it, and I will when they make it, I say, "Oh, you're eating the puke in the bowl again. Awesome, enjoy your puke in the bowl."
Okay, so first off,
and they hate
right.
hate me for it. They hate me for it because I'm literally these people are literally people that are family to me now. Like literally, full paperwork, and now they are related to me. Yeah.
Okay. So
damn, I'm going to get myself in so much trouble second half of this podcast. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, I'm a guilty party to that, but the way that I do the salsa cream cheese is you get the block of cream cheese and then you pour the salsa over it. So you don't have you don't mix the salsa and cream cheese together and turn it into like a pig slop.
They do a full on mix.
That's a lot of work. Slop. That's a lot of work. I don't mind it.
I understand that.
But chunk of cream cheese along with like a fat bite of salsa is really good.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. So I'm a purist.
Well, me and your paperwork your paperwork bound family member
in-laws. We can just say what they are. Well, and
hey, you're the one that defined the story, man. I'm just staying within your purview. I know.
I'm just clarifying more. They know my feelings about it. See, here's the thing. Again, I'm a purist on this, okay? You give me the salsa, preferably not jarred salsa because that stuff is kind of garbagey. Give me some fresh pico, and I will eat that stuff all day long if it's made the right way.
Oh, good fresh pico rules the friggin' earth. Honestly, my favorite kind of fresh pico is with good fresh jalapeno in it. Fresh pico.
I like jalapeno and serrano.
Oh, serrano pepper is awesome. Dude, serrano pepper is crazy underrated.
Oh, totally. But my cream cheese, save my cream cheese for two things, okay?
Okay.
Two things you can save the cream cheese for. Put it on my bagel, because I like some schmear on my bagel, okay?
Okay, I can understand
and number two, put a little bit of chive in it, maybe a little bit of seasonings.
Mm-hmm.
Wrap that thing up in a egg roll wrapper. Fry that thing up. Hell yes.
Okay.
Hell yes.
Okay. I don't think I've ever done that before.
Well, yeah, you probably have. You've gone to Panda Express and had their cream cheese rangoons. It's basically what that is.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know what those were.
Yep,
I'm all about that. That's
so
good
damn
stuff.
Good.
I am all about that.
This weekend. But anyway,
okay.
So
we're gonna step back real quick. So the first thing we're talking about is salsa cream cheese. Okay, the difference between to know the difference between Jalisco Mexican and Chihuahua Mexican when you're talking about a Mexican restaurant. Okay. Jalisco Mexican, here's a quick definition. Jalisco Mexican takes pictures of their food like Polaroids, like old school
pictures.
Yep. And then shoves them on the wall above the cash register behind you. So you see the grill. It's like I want to say it's like a Chipotle, but it's not like a Chipotle. Like it's way cooler than
because Chipotle is awful.
Yes.
Anyway.
Right. So we're both in agreement with that. Now,
Jalisco pictures. By the way, Jalisco, for those people who don't understand how Spanish works, it's spelled with a J. It does not sound like it's spelled with a J, but it's spelled with a freaking J. Okay.
All right.
just like the name Jaime is spelled with a J. It looks like Jamie. It's not Jamie. It's Jaime.
Thank you for the cultural understanding. Thank you for the cultural education, sir.
I'm just saying my pronunciation and my accent is awful, but at least I know the J don't sound like a J.
Well, anyway, not like an English J.
Not like English J. Very good. Jalisco pictures.
Jalisco, that's the first deal is Jalisco pictures. Now, obviously, Chihuahua also has pictures, but here's the best way to tell Jalisco. Okay, Jalisco makes you scoop your own chips and salsa because they have a variety of salsa. That's Jalisco. Jalisco is you order the food, you want chips and salsa, you get your ass up off that counter and off that seat and go scoop yourself up some damn salsa. And it's going to have a variety of salsa there. Jalisco has a salsa bar that you pick from. Chihuahua serves you the salsa and chips while you sit at the table.
Okay, I get it. I can envision both types of restaurants in my brain.
They present it to you. They present it. Yep.
I'm telling you right now, Jalisco all the way.
Dude, anyway. Now I am one way or the other. I can take either. I like sitting down. I like going and getting my stuff. And dude, I'm going to tell you, the burritos at a Jalisco grill are bar none, bro. They are the top tier.
I'm actually thinking of a place that I went to with my older brother, my oldest brother. I went to visit him. It's been almost a year now that I went to visit him, and he took me out to a place to eat, a Mexican food place right by his house, and the burrito that I had there was one of those gigantic, huge old burritos.
Hell yeah!
And it was amazing, and like I had a drive of like 2.5 hours to get home.
Yeah.
After being there and eating it with him, and so like there was about maybe an inch of burrito left, which is like an inch by like a radius of like 3 inches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. An inch of burrito left can still, it's like the size of a small burger still.
And like my stomach said, I'm not sure, but my brain said, well, you ain't going to drive that home 2.5 hours.
Right.
So I completed the mission to my brother's amazement. Especially because my brother had and I had not sat down to a meal really together. It had been about 8 years, and that was at a diner. So, diner food is diner food. You can always find something to eat at a diner for anybody, no matter how picky they are.
Absolutely.
But the only thing he had in his memory of eating anywhere with me was when I was a kid and when I was so picky with food. So to see me just tearing into this gigantic burrito that literally the only thing I asked to not be on it was sour cream and avocados. Everything else I had on it. And to see me tearing into all of these different textures and all these things shoved into a burrito, he was just looking at me like, you never ate this way as a kid. What happened to you? Did you eat my little brother and now assimilate part of his brain into yours? Because that's the only thing I can think of. You're fat enough to have eaten him. But yeah, it was a very funny experience. But we have that now.
Yeah,
I was so amused that Fruit Loops enmeshed in a chocolate bunny led us down the road of Mexican food. That's so beautiful.
Yes, I'm honestly personally more satisfied with this conversation that we've had than the one that we had last week.
That's fantastic. And then of course I also sent you the picture from my wife's shopping of the extra, the leftover Easter stuff, the deals that she got, 75% off deals that she got after Easter. I sent you a picture of my beautiful and lovely 12-pack dozen of Cadbury eggs.
Yes.
I will say that when we recorded last week, I was only about halfway through actually I hadn't even started eating the pack yet. When we recorded last week.
No, you showed me the full unopened package. It was still plastic wrapped, I believe. It's gone?
It is gone.
I'm so jealous, bro. I am so jealous.
I will admit, 3 of them I did not eat myself. I shared 1 with the wife, and 2 of them got ganked by one of my kids.
That's worth it. That's okay.
So I mean, it happens. But but no, that Easter was kind of we usually stay in for Easter, so it's not like we missed the big family events or anything.
For sure.
It's been a long time since we've done any big family events, and my kids are old enough where they don't really care about anything. But hey, look, we got extra candy. So I mean, but but yeah, it's been a weird year for a lot of people for Easter because most people are used to having those big gatherings and get-togethers, and hey. If people have to miss out on one Easter of get-togethers so that we can all stay safe, I think that's not too much to ask of people at this point in time. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But anyway, we had mentioned at the first half of the podcast, and mentioned a little bit into this one, that our last actual episode, not the little minute and a half video that I posted last week, but that I sent to you and then you edited and posted.
Yes.
He took out the gratuitous nudity, which is a good thing. Nobody wants to see that. I'm sorry he had to see it. I'm not sorry he had to see it. It's about time. But anyway.
Yeah, that was not okay.
But anyway, the week before
I was wondering why you did that, man. You weren't even talking about anything. It was all of a sudden it was.
I know. Yeah, I was like, hey, look, brown eye. But anyway,
surprise.
Well, that surprise comes directly with that. But that's the whole. Have I ever told you what surprise means in again, my in-laws family. My in-laws are very strange.
I'm afraid to ask, but you go right on ahead, sir.
No, I'm going to save that for off the air. Just remember, if you're around anybody in my family and you hear the word surprise, be wary. I'm thinking about it now. I've been watching a lot of stand-up recently. I think if I ever went into stand-up, one, I wouldn't like it because of the whole standing part. If I could do like sit down instead of stand-up, that would be better.
Yeah.
Just because, it's a lot of weight to hold up. I have pretty trunky legs, but it's still a lot of weight. My ankles are kind of dainty, but I could probably focus just on in-law stuff. Most people can, but I think I really couldn't get away with it. It would be pretty good humor. But anyway, surprise. But the last real episode we had was the porn episode.
Yes.
Which interesting story for all of you about the porn episode. I'm not computer savvy enough to see the numbers on our main website or that get reported about how many listens are happening through the website or through any of the other stuff. Mike finds all that out.
I do.
Mike knows how to access that information. Again, why I am so grateful to have him working on this, because he is the technical brains behind all of this. Give him complete credit for all the technical things that happen. I just sit down and talk into a microphone. That's all I do. Literally, that is all I do is sit down and talk into a microphone. So I have great respect for the things he does. However, there's one there's one of our outlets that I do see the returns on regularly, and that's because I have it on my phone to be able to easily access it. And that outlet is our YouTube outlet. Well, when that video was posted, or the podcast was posted, the porn episode was posted. It was posted somewhere around midnight or something. By 4:00 in the morning, it already had 32 views. Now, 32 views isn't that big for many things on YouTube. I mean, that's nowhere close to anything that anybody would really write home about.
Right.
But for our videos on YouTube, there's not another one of our videos that has ever had 32 views. Because YouTube is just one of the methods, probably the clunkiest method to listen to our podcasts.
Yeah.
Most people that are going to listen to them will be listening to them in other ways. YouTube is for old people or old technologically afraid people like me to listen to podcasts on.
It also sucks up bandwidth like mad. We know.
It does. So with 32 views, it was like, who the hell saw this thing 32 times? And I'm like, oh, it's got porn in the title. That's what happened.
Okay. So at one point, it actually was taken down and it was put back up. So,
yes, it was. It was actually removed and then back up and still have the 32 views. So it was like.
So I have a personal theory. Yes, I have a personal theory. If you will allow me to posit it.
Posit the theory.
Posit the theory. Okay, so I believe what happened was, first off, the word porn was like an immediate red flag to YouTube. YouTube uses YouTube uses an algorithm instead of mostly people that surveil the content. So if
hold on.
Yeah.
They're using the dance moves of an ex-president or ex-vice president.
The algorithm. Oh, wow. That took me a minute. Okay. I'm impressed.
That's a bad dad joke, dude. That is a bad dad joke.
That is a horrible dad joke, but I'm impressed.
Thank you. I try.
It's like fish poop. That's like that's one of my favorite ones from you is fish poop.
Oh, you like the fish poop?
Yeah, fish poop's a great dad joke.
For anybody that doesn't understand fish poop, instead of calling somebody a bastard fish poop.
That was like an ongoing thing with like you and everybody you brought over the house at one point. You guys were calling each other fish poop at one point. It was brilliant. I thought it was great. Wonderful dad joke.
Thank you.
But so I think that the algorithm itself, which is basically just like computer generated surveillance.
It's an equation.
Yeah. Sees or hears, actually listens to certain terms or words. Like they hear them in the audio files of the videos, and they hear, certain expletives or certain words that they know are ridiculously controversial or something, and they censor them out. Or what they do is instead of censorship, they bog down the viewership or sometimes completely take down the video. In this case, the word porn was used in the title and the description of the video. Therefore, YouTube was like, no porn on our platform. Boom, they took it down immediately. But not before. A bunch of people between midnight and 4 a.m. were like, ooh, porn.
No.
And then decided to listen to the video.
No, here's the thing. They took it down almost immediately after it was put up.
Oh, and they put it back up afterwards, and then it got a bunch of viewership. Up. Okay, so here's another theory that I have behind that. YouTube kind of has, so on top of the algorithm, they also have a backup. Like, they have to have people. They have to have some kind of people. If they go, wait a minute, 1 second here. Like, this thing was taken down. They know that porn isn't supposed to be on here. Let's go check it out. And then they realize it's a podcast. There's no actual explicit information on it.
Can you imagine the guy or gal at YouTube? It's like, oh, hold on. I got an alert here. Oh, this thing got taken down. Porn in the title. Let me check this out. Okay. I'm hearing music. All right. I don't see anything but this waveform thing. All right, fine. Wait. This is two guys talking. This is just two guys talking. They're talking about, I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Could you imagine?
The one guy, he sounds a little fat. The other one sounds like he's a ginger. I don't think we have to worry about this.
Could you imagine if like the one human who checks it out is like doesn't understand what's going on, and they're like, I see porn in the title, but there's no porn. Hey Carl, come check this out real quick. I need a verification. Like they like,
what do you need? What do you need?
yeah.
What do you need to see?
Hey, dude, does this look like porn to you? No, it's just a couple of dudes talking.
Well, yeah. I mean, I had mushrooms earlier, so maybe.
But just like, no, you know what? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure.
But I find that amusing because
I'm trying to pull another name and I can't. Hey, Mick, come here real quick. I need a verification here.
All right. What you need?
Yeah. Hey, is this porn?
I don't know, mate.
You don't know. You don't know what porn is? What's porn?
You see two
You're
jellies
like a third level
going at it?
manager. You don't know what this is? Why did we hire you?
Work exchange program.
Work exchange.
I needed it to get my green card.
Well, Mick doesn't know.
Leave me alone.
Fuck it, let it pass. Let it through. I don't see anything.
But anyway, so it was funny to see that it got taken down and then put back up and then 32 views and was like, wow, why did this happen? Of course, because porn in the title. And the funny thing is, we did get a few responses. We actually had somebody that we had two people.
We got comments. What did we get?
Yeah, we did get comments. I think they're one of them is from longtime listener Alex.
Yes.
So his was a good comment. The other one, I believe, if I remember correctly, I'm logging in right now. So,
okay.
So James using technology. He's kind of stupid, so it takes him a while. I have my own theme songs, man.
That's good. That's good. I'll write some backing music to that and throw it in post.
So, okay, somebody that I don't know commented, nice video, I loved it.
Is his name Tom?
I don't know who that is.
Is his name Tom?
Do you know Tom?
There are comment bots that exist. I found this out recently.
Is Tom a comment bot?
Tom is a comment bot.
Well, fuck you, Tom.
Is that Tom? Is his name Tom?
It says Tom.
Tim,
yeah,
Tom. Yep. Yeah, Tom, the comical Canadian, all those. Those are actually comment bots. I found that out. There was a guy named Tom that kept fucking commenting. I started another channel where I do music stuff and I do like informative stuff, and I've been doing it to kind of like help pass the time at home, and it's actually honestly something I've been wanting to do. That guy has been putting up bot comments all over the fucking place.
Hold on a second, sir. Is that the Rolling Note music stuff?
Yes, that's Rolling Note. Oh, all right. Yes, that is Rolling.
Rolling Note music, people. Rolling Note music.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch?
Yes, wonderful transition.
If you want to watch Mike give tutorials on how to do at-home recording,
yes,
please watch the Rolling Note music stuff. If you're like me and it sounds like he's speaking in Finnish when he's trying to talk to you about these things, just talk to him in person about it. I'll get you all of his personal details, home phone number,
well, this helps
address,
you translate some
email,
of the Finnish.
The webcam that I put in their bathroom, I'll get it all for you. Anyway,
what? Okay.
Anyway, the other comment, the other comment was from a long-time listener, Alex.
Yes.
One of our favorite listeners. He commented, "This was great. Would love to see a discussion on the Pornhub comment community, which is surprisingly supportive and uplifting." I assured him when I spoke with him that we would look into the Pornhub comment community because I have seen some stuff about it, and yeah.
Oh God. Okay. I can't believe. Okay, you know what? I can't, but I can. I can believe that. Yeah, I could see this. I could see this being a pitch. This is something we would totally do. Oh my goodness.
Hey, when I pitched you the porn episode at first, you were like, no, we're not going to talk about this. We're not going to talk about it. And I'm like, but it's relevant. I don't care if it's relevant, but it's relevant. I don't care. Phones, dude. You can look up porn on your phone now. Yeah. Well, back when we were kids, you couldn't. Oh.
Yeah, no, it was huge.
James.
The amount of convincing it took me and the regretful agreement that I had to that episode was almost palpable. But hey,
it was
a good episode though. It was a good episode. It was really good.
And more importantly, it may have possibly got people to listen to us that never would have thought to listen to us before.
And
maybe they were like, what? Go ahead.
I was going to say, hopefully those people, if you're listening to this episode now, we appreciate you like giving us another shot at it, man. We appreciate, the extra, the extra, hopefully the extra attention. Maybe we got a subscriber or two out of it. We don't know.
Except that Tom bot. Fuck that Tom bot.
Yeah, fuck you, Tom. Fucking Tom. Tom, you jackass, making me think that I got love over on my channel and over on this one. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, what the hell?
Tom,
but
you dick.
The last 4 episodes we did, the 4 we recorded in that kind of one day of marathon recording session.
Yeah, for sure.
I recorded them and I brought the ideas to Mike in a specific order because I wanted them to come out in a specific order. I'm gonna have to remember the first one that came out. Which one was that? Damn, it's so long ago. I'm gonna go back and check the thing. This is hurting my head. I had the spiel and everything, and I'm losing the spiel right now.
Wasn't the first one? Was the first one Adam Sandler movies or the second one?
The first one might have been the Adam Sandler movies. You're very smart, sir.
Or was it? Tombstone wasn't the first one, was it?
Okay, so the first one was yes, the Adam Sandler episode. The Price is Wrong, bitch.
Yes.
Which I think it just needed, we wanted to have an Adam Sandler conversation. That one just came out on the date that it came out.
Yeah.
The second one was the episode entitled Light It Up True, which was talking about autism. I specifically wanted that to come out on April 2nd because that is the National Autism Day. The campaign for it is Light It Up Blue. And so I wanted to kind of say my piece about autism on the day that it's supposed to be having awareness of it, talking about it. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Right after that, we did the episode for the pre-Easter episode. By the way, I don't know if you remember from last time the conversation about Peeps. Do you remember me talking about the root beer flavored Peeps?
Yes.
And I'm just reiterating that for everybody else to hear. He remembers it from last time, but y'all didn't get to hear that. Root beer float flavored Peeps. Unbelievable. You open the package and it smelled like root beer float. It was fantastic. If you ever find them, get them, eat them, enjoy them, or put them in the microwave with little toothpicks so that they can attack each other in jousting. And then the internet porn one came out on the 16th of April. And it came out on the 16th of April for a very important reason. And it's a very personal reason. I alluded to it in the short. I alluded to it in the short video that I posted last week, or we posted last week, that I recorded last week, and we talked about it on the podcast that never was. But the reason for that is a very personal reason for me. 20 years ago, around that time is when I first met my wife, and we first started dating. In fact, I know the exact days that it all started. I have it all in my mind. The day of the week it is, of course, the date that it was. But for most Americans, the 15th of April is a somber day. Would you agree?
I would. I'm not quite. Nothing that I can think of on the 15th.
So the 15th of April. What is the 15th of April for most people? Do you know?
I don't.
The 15th of April for most people is tax day.
Oh, right.
The 15th of April is when everybody's taxes are due.
Right.
Not to be confused. I
always take care of my taxes. Like, I'm chomping at the bit to get my tax forms. Like, I get anxiety near the end of January. If my jobs have not given me my tax forms by like the 25th, I'm starting to, chomp at the bit for it.
Which I understand. I understand completely.
I'm like, I want to get that done and get it now.
Yeah, but April 15th is tax day. Well, I can give away some of the dates because that's okay. April 13th, or April 11th, actually, is when I met my wife for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the few times that I was actually being musically inclined. I was rehearsing with a band. Nice. The only band I ever actually performed with. In fact, I was teaching them all the music for the 2 songs that I had written. Having previously been kicked out of another band because they said I was too dark and brooding for them. And my wife walked through the door, and in her estimation, she was seeing a rock star in the making. I can't say that ever happened, but I very much remember almost every detail of that day meeting her. 2 days later is when I got to see her again on the 13th. That's when we decided we were going to start being a couple. And then the 15th is when we really decided we were going to start being a couple.
Oh.
If you know what I'm saying.
I believe I understand what you're talking about, sir.
So to put the porn episode out on the 16th has some personal significance for me.
Okay.
If you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Now I'm going to get in so much trouble for this.
Yes,
again,
you are, sir.
Multiple times. So tax day for me, every year when tax day rolls around, for me, it is not a day of fear. It is not a day of concern. It is not a day where I am stressed out. Instead, it is a day of celebration.
That's fantastic.
There are some anniversaries that are important to remember. I sure as hell remember that one.
I bet you do, sir. I bet you do.
Oh, yeah.
Right on, my man.
Again, so much trouble, but I love it.
I bet you. You will be. You will be, sir.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make sure that this stays in the episode, too. I ain't editing shit out, man.
Please don't. Please don't. Although we have reached the end of the episode, so maybe if she does listen to it, I can figure out a way to have her out of the room while this part of the episode's on.
It's okay. I'll make sure not to tell you what time exactly this starts up.
Damn it. You and your editing magic. Well, I'm glad this worked because this gives us this opportunity to be able to have these and still not violate the shelter at home decrees, to be safe, to not just think about ourselves, but to think about everybody else that could possibly be infected by transmission of this disease right now.
Yeah.
We still don't know. The medical professionals still don't know. The government still doesn't know. Nobody really knows what we still have waiting for us in store with this disease going around, with this virus. We don't know if people can get it again. We don't know all of the ways that it manifests in people, and we certainly don't have any real course of treatment that is proven to be effective, even more than 50% of the time.
Yeah.
So this is something that, whatever you want to do to monitor it, I guess that's your thing. I just would hope that you would be concerned and caring enough about your fellow individuals to take whatever precautions are necessary, to do what's being asked of you, to try to mitigate this as much as possible, make it have the least impact possible until our scientists, our medical specialists can get a full handle on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a full understanding so that we can be protected in the best way as possible. And since I want to do that, and I know you want to do that, sir, we'll be doing this way for the foreseeable future. Lucky for you, you don't have to see me the whole time. We just get to be able to talk, so that's good. I bet the chair that's kind of my chair in your studio is happy my fat ass isn't sitting in it every Monday.
It's okay. I filled it with stuff.
Of course you have. At least it's still not the same weight as me, so that's good. But again, it's nice that we were able to do it this way. It feels good to have gotten this, be able to have gotten this done, and to be able to bring it out to you guys to listen to. Please, if you get the opportunity to listen to it, tell us what you think about it. Comment on what you guys did for Easter. Comment on what you've been doing during all of this shelter at home crisis. Tell us what it's been like. And heck, since you're at home more and you can possibly listen to us more, tell us some things you'd like us to talk about. Give us some ideas of things.
Yeah, man.
What do we are all ears. Mike and James
all
say?
Ears.
Well, you might be. Yeah, you kind of have giant ones. Mine are normal sized.
Hey, fuck you.
But Mike, if people are listening to us, where are they listening to us?
Well, you could check us out at thexennialchronicles.com or zencron.com, spelled XENCHRON, if you don't want to type that much. Speaking of Zencron, you could follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Facebook and Twitter? Is that it? We don't have an Instagram,
Facebook
do we?
And Twitter.
Okay. We're on Facebook.
Not yet.
Okay, well,
not
hey,
yet,
why don't we work on having something like that? Oh, dude.
I will try.
I'll help you out with
try to
that.
figure out how to do Instagram.
All right, I'll help you out with that. So yeah, we will soon be on Instagram at Xenchron, spelled Xenchron. As far as the podcast itself, it is available on the website, but we do also have it at most of the other major podcast websites. So we should be on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on TuneIn, we're on Spotify, we're on I don't know if we're on Pandora. I don't think we're on Pandora, but we'll figure that out.
It'd be nice to get on Pandora.
Yeah, dude. I can't even get my own. I have a deal where my own band's music is supposed to be on Pandora, and I can't even get on Pandora right now with my music. It's crazy. Pandora's a little difficult, but that's okay. Also,
that's all right.
If you want to hear even more, or if you have an account, please go check out our YouTube page. Search for us at the Xennial Chronicles, I believe that's it. Yeah, search for us at the Xennial Chronicles on YouTube. You'll find all of our episodes on YouTube as well. I believe that is all, my friend.
Subscribe to the YouTube page if you can, and click the little bell icon thingy so that you get updates when we post a new thing. Although typically we post every Thursday, and even if we don't get a full podcast posted, some kind of video is posted either of me or of Mike, so that you can at least see we're still here. We're still alive, and we still care about the people who do listen and want to get more content from us.
Yes.
So please check it out, and hopefully you enjoyed. And hey, Mike, we'll do this again next week.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good one.
Enjoy.
Thank you for tuning in, friends. The journey continues next week.